Mike for Wine Weirdos.
Christopher.
We're having a lot of fun with the 2014 seed wine Malbec out of the Uco Valley, the southern tip. It's the Altamira district is what it's called. And we're talking 3,700 feet up.
High elevation.
And there's alluvial glacial waters is what they use to irrigate it.
Yeah, and I hear they do it through canals too.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Interesting farming and everything. And you know I'm not the biggest fan of Malbec, but I'm seeking out that Malbec that is blowing my mind.
I have been waiting for that Malbec. Bingo.
And it has arrived. It's right now in front of us. And
yes.
Something really unique that caught my interest here is I tend to favor cooler vintages.
Right.
And it tends to stress the winemaker out a little bit more, but it tends
right.
to produce a better quality wine. And this
right.
is this has happened here too, where it's a cooler vintage, which makes it, you know, a little less alcohol, you know, dealing
and
with some
later ripening, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And it kind of is ripping out the extraction and the alcohol and delivering on more of the tannin notes and the things that maybe some wine drinkers don't like, but you know, with age,
the minerality and the secondary stuff,
exactly,
and the loamy notes.
And talking on the aromatics, we could go on for probably an hour alone on the aromatics.
Yeah.
The mineral play there's so much mineral play in here. For me, it was the limestone that really stood out, but you're saying the volcanic minerals is what stood out for you.
That, and then there is like some serious fruit going on.
Absolutely.
There was like a blueberry cobbler thing I think we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's just mind blowing. It tastes like blueberries macerated in Amaro or something. It's just very, very heady and very intense. But then it just has this brilliant acidity, brilliant mineral play, and there's a loaminess. There's like a kind of a Bordeaux sensibility, which is really exciting. They make 59 cases of this stuff.
Yeah, and I can't see how the availability is going to be tight, I would think.
It's going to be tight. I think I'm looking at the magical thing, limited release of 975 bottles.
Yeah, let's talk about the tannin, because again, that cooler vintage, we're talking about the higher acidity, which is a plus from the cooler vintage. The tannin is so rich and thick and structured, but it plays so well against that blueberry fruit, and I'm getting plum notes and smoke notes.
There's a smokiness to
it. And
it.
as it opens up, I'm getting some tobacco, some green tobacco leaf
like
notes,
singed tobacco,
which is just stunning. And it's so perfectly composed. There's a core, but everything's just rounded evenly around it. It's really beautiful.
Early contender for wine of the year.
This is the best red I've drank this year.
Yeah, I think it's way up there. I'd have to think. Maybe the only thing I can compare to is like weird, like Canary Islands or Central Otago or Tasmanian Pinot, like something influenced by a volcano, Sicilian wine, something like that. Is the only thing I can compare it to.
It's a special wine. It's a unique varietal. It's basically a blending varietal. It's just shining on its own.
Yeah.
With a special hand, just with exceptional farming, exceptional hand, and it's right here on the table. And I am beyond impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it needs to be sought out. Good stuff from seed. And the other thing that's cool about it is you buy a bottle, it helps pay for a textbook for a kid at Mendoza. I kid you not. It sounds like I'm just like
philanthropic wine.
It's kind of cool. So good stuff from Seed. We'll be back with more on Wine Weirdos. Cheers.